Welcome to the channel. I wanted to come out here and talk about, you know, summertime is around the corner and a lot of nurses are graduating from school. And I was thinking about your first job or even for experienced nurse, because we like to move around. And we're going to talk today about orientation, what to expect, mistakes that to avoid, to make sure we start off on the right foot and keep our license. Stay tuned. Why I always utilize my orientation days on the unit carefully and document everything so that when I hit the floor, I'm prepared. Orientation is not the time to play smart. Just lay low, taking all the information they give you, learn from it, and execute it when you go on the floor. Ask questions, hit it, let's talk. So you just got a new job, or for experienced nurse, you just started working for this new company and you're going through orientation. For those of you who don't know what orientation is, this is your first day at the job. So they're going to go through a group of trainings, whether it's giving you a lot of information and maybe meet up with HR. You'll meet up with the director of nursing and other auxiliary staff. If you have to have CPR, they'll give it to you. May keep you up to date and be compliance so that if the state come in, you are capable of answering some of the questions. So first day, it's book day. Some facility will feed you lunch, a little snack for breakfast, maybe coffee and donuts. Or they may not. It depends on their budget and work situation. And it goes for a nursing home. I've never gotten it in corrections. It goes from nursing home to any other facility. In a hospital, you may not get anything. Then that may be 5 days orientation. Go through the process, whether they have computer program, they'll train you on that. So that's a 5-day continuation. Is the following week you will get clinical orientation on the unit, and that could last maybe 2 or 3 days based on if you're going to be full-time, or if you're a new nurse, you get longer depending on what their policy is. And number one tip is, FYI, new nurses or even experienced nurse, if you're going into this new hospital, new clinical situation, any situation you're going into as a new nurse, because that's what you consider, experienced or not, new nurse, you make sure that you are observant, you're alert, you take notes if you don't. And if you feel at the end of the orientation that you did not get enough information or you're not feeling confidence, make sure you let them know that you would like it a little longer. And they should be able to, if they want to keep you now, that's the key. If they want to keep you, they may extend your orientation a little longer. Check. So now you finish with that and you're getting a tour. You'll get the tour the first week of the building. You're not going to remember anything. I never remember, I don't even remember names until I start working there and see how to get around the shortcut to my unit. So you're going to be lost. You're going to be confused. You're going to feel disorient. That is normal. That is normal. Everybody goes through it. Drop it. Hold on. Sorry. Orientation is priceless. Make sure, number one, make sure when they tell you your orientation on the floor, on the unit, is 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks. Make sure you take all those days in an orientation. An orientation basically for the new grad is shadowing the other nurse. Orientation for the experience is shadowing the nurse. So don't allow them, and I'm saying this because I'll tell you what's going to happen. Experienced nurses know this. You get a call, you're at home, you're still on orientation, you get a call. Hey, Patrice, can you come in? And we don't have an RN on the unit. Could be nursing home, it could be a facility that you work in, it could be rehab, it could be all it's called a setting, correction, whatever. You get a call, stop. Could you please come in and, because the nurse got sick and had to go home. Remember, you're on orientation. Why would you go in there to sit? Are they really paying you to go in there and sit as an RN? No. You may be walking into something. The nurse left in the middle of the shift, and then they want you to come in, and you're still on orientation. But if you don't tell them, you got to remind them, because they have selective memory. What you say real nicely, I'm still on orientation. I haven't been checked off to be by myself. So I don't understand what I'm coming in for. Do you want me to come sit and don't do any just to be the RN? No, don't go all the way in like that. I am not capable of being on the floor yet. I wasn't checked off, period. You have to keep reminding them, because what's going to happen, say you don't want to tell them. They say, I'm paying double time. They don't remember that you're a new grad or you're a new nurse in the building. You can get in trouble too, being a new nurse in the building. Even though you're an experienced nurse, you don't know the layout, you don't know anything, and you go in because the money sounds good, double time, $300 extra. You're gonna go in to do what? To walk right into danger, and that's the only thing I'm thinking of. So don't let anyone rush you into things. As a matter of fact, this is what I do. I like to, when I first get into the job as a new nurse to that facility, I don't look for any overtime. I don't try to, because I want to learn it. I want to know. I'm not saying learning it. I want to know what's going on before I decided I want to stay over. They might be floating you all over, and then you get a feel for what unit you would like to work in, and maybe you'll have choice for your overtime. So I just don't run into overtime right away. I wait maybe after probation, maybe 90 days. Some facility don't have any probation because they want you there and they'll give you time and whatever. I just still don't rush into it. Remember, easy money, good money, greedy money, it could cost you, and it could cost you your license. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of when the staffing person called you and said, could you come in? You don't have to be negative. You don't have to say no. You just say, that's what I said. I would love to come in, but I haven't finished my orientation on the floor. They say, okay. And they'll call you back again the next day. Hey, do you mind coming in just for 2 or 4 hours? Because we had a nurse left at 9 a.m. Think, nurses, 9 a.m. the nurse left. That means the meds not given. You're still on orientation. That means you'll be giving meds, trying to figure out where the thing is. You don't know where stuff is, and you'll be getting all confused and overwhelmed, and that's when we make mistake. Don't let anybody reel you into it. Don't get caught up in it. Just say, because remember I told you they have selective memory. You just told them that yesterday and they call you back today. So what you do, you keep it up. You say, I'm sorry, but I haven't been on the floor yet. I haven't been checked off, because they give you this thick binder that the other nurse that's orient you have to sign off that you did all those skills. And some of those skills you will get it checked off once you're on the floor, because the nurse can't possibly do everything so that to get you. So some will be done after you off orientation. So remember that. But the main thing, medication errors, what to do with the Pyxis, all those things you really need to be shadowing the nurse. And charting the computer access, and sometimes you don't have access. What are you going in there for? So don't think of the money right now. Think of your safety. Always think, before I say yes, what's likely that? And the reason why I say that, because I notice on my day off, when I take, when they call you in and it's your day off, all hell broke loose. It just seemed like you get in more trouble when you should have just stay home and chill. So don't do this mistake that I have done and cause me heartache and wish I was home. So, orientation day. So these are some simple orientation mistakes. Don't ever get caught up in that. Remember, you have to tell them, I didn't do this, so, and if you have questions, that's one of the things that I noticed, that new nurses, ask, no question is a stupid question. Remember that. I'd rather you ask that stupid question that you feel is stupid than to go and do something and get caught up in some mess. Lose your job, lose your license, and there you are, back to square one. So don't forget, it's, as far as being a new grad, and if you feel like, I feel I need to talk about this only because I got a comment about bullying in nursing. When we say bully, and when I say bully in nursing, I don't mean that the nurses, because when we think of bullying, we mean the nurses just constantly nagging you and make you feel like you can't do anything. And I know, being a new nurse, you may feel like the older nurses that are more experienced, you may feel a little intimidated. But I want you to know that sometimes we try to help you. How can I say it? We don't want you to make some of the mistakes. It's like having your child, being overprotective, and you try to shield them, and in the end, they don't want to listen. They retaliate until they make a mistake. So, but if there is anyone bullying you, make you feel less, make you feel like you can't do anything, don't even entertain it. And when I say don't entertain it, don't argue with them. Take it up to HR. As a matter of fact, go to the chain of command. your nurse manager, if you're on the floor, your nurse manager, her supervisor, or the supervisor. If your charge nurse is not there, she's the first one. Then if the charge nurse don't do anything, then you go to the nurse manager. If the nurse manager don't do anything, you go up until someone listen to you. You should not feel harassed. You should not be bullied, because bullying a nurse is not acceptable. And it could cause them to lose their job. So don't feel like nobody's going to listen to you. If you tell that nurse, and a big thing about it, you document. I'm not saying document it in the chart. The nurse bullied me, Nurse Foster, she always make me feel. No, I'm not saying write it in the chart. I'm saying you keep a book. As a matter of fact, new nurse orientation 101, have one of these little black book, blank, what they call them, the one that we used to write composition in, English, ABC book. Document everything that you feel it may come back. I told Nurse Foster that Nurse Chickapoo was harassing me or make me feel, call me certain names, stupid, whatever. Document. If I didn't do anything, go to the charge nurse and whoever, keep names, and just keep yourself safe by keeping your documents. Don't leave that book down. I have a bad habit, so I don't of leaving my books at work. So I try to write it in my notes on my phone, and then when I get home, I kind of just be able to, but sometimes you don't remember. So if possible, keep your book and keep it safe away from everyone, because it was probably disappear. So I want you to have a good experience, because don't ever listen to what a lot of people may say. Like when I was trying to get into this job, and nurses would say, you're going there, I wouldn't go there. They have a lot of case, people died, and people aren't alive, and they do this. I wouldn't go there. They rude and everything. I like to experience it for myself. And if I go in there and I see, oh yeah, they were right, then I say, I shouldn't have came. But at least you came. You make it. And they can change. It could be a new company come in and changes. Go where you feel, if you feel right for you, take that job. And if you're a new nurse, take the job, secure it 3 months, at least you have some experience, 6 months, and then look for another one. If that's what you choose, stay there for a year. They like to see you. Don't try to jump around, because it's not going to be accepted. But I wanted to come out here and say, your orientation is critical, because whatever you learn from that orientation, you have your book, write down little things, because they're going to give you information about your computer access, pharmacy access, the clock, time clock, your paycheck. I know you want to know that. So you get everything, code, whatever, put it in your book, how to do this. And that's what I use, because sometimes I don't like to ask the nurses, because I feel like you, new nurse, they might say, oh, you didn't get it? Damn, she's just so weird, so slow. So I write it in my book and I go back. Or what you say if you don't remember, or what you say if you don't understand. Hey, could you show me again how to do this IV, how to set it up? It's either yes or no. And if that person seems like they're not friendly, they don't want to help you, go to somebody else. Don't worry about it. That's their loss. They didn't get a chance to meet you. So you'll find some moody nurses, some nurses who, especially when you're younger and you got the position as a charge nurse, and the older nurse has been there for years, and she may have it in her mind she want to be charge nurse, but she didn't take a step to become one. See, you have your bachelor's and you may have your master's because you're working towards what the new nurse is doing nowadays. As soon as they get their bachelor, they don't even come into the job as a new nurse trying to get 1 year experience. They're already 1 year out into NP school, because that's the new thing now. Every RN wants to be a doctor, PhD degree, NP doctor. So their title is really Dr. Discovery, and that's just an example. And so they already started even before they hit the floor. So that's probably why they figure out that they're not getting any position. Now they decided, I'm gonna go into psych, because and how I'm saying that, because that's what they say in orientation. Well, I just graduated from Alabama State or from Temple University, but I'm in 1 year for my NP. And I just wanted to know what it's like. Do I want to go into psychiatric NP position or training, because I'm doing it now, or stay into family NP? And so they come into psych, they work psych, they say, I figure I'll do this for a year and see if I like it, and then I'll continue on, because I'm already in NP school. Some may not stay, some may go into ER because that's where they want to specialize in. So we're getting a lot of NP. The schools are pushing them out. So they're coming in now. So don't be discouraged if you see a new nurse and she's younger, she's maybe 23 and she's already got her master's and she has almost finished with her NP, and then she got the charge position, and you've been there for 36 years and you're still an associate trying to get your bachelor's, and you wonder why you didn't get that position based on your experience. They're not doing it that now. You have the degree. Even if you had the degree, you probably wouldn't get it, because seem like the loyal ones are the ones that get pushed over. You know what I mean? So I wanted to come out here, and don't worry, you got that RN, you got that LPN, orientation day for the CNAs too. Make sure you get your full orientation. Let me tell you, and I'm saying that too, because what happened if they say 2 weeks orientation for the experienced nurse, right? And this you can take based on what they tell you as a new grad, how many days or weeks you will be shadowing the nurse. But I'm talking about the experienced nurse right now. They say 2 weeks orientation. They call you in and you went in, and they automatically say you ready. So you won't get your 2 weeks orientation. They will be throwing you into the wolf. And then they wonder why you didn't stay, or wonder why you're asking so much question. Didn't you get your orientation? You cannot go back and say, oh no, I came in and they say I was ready. No. You forfeited that. So be mindful of that. Be careful. Always work with being cautious. Always think about situations that, where your license being jeopardized. Easy, simple thing. Coming in on your time off. Most of the time in corrections, and I'm talking about corrections now, a lot of nurses, they get to relax because it's kind of easy. And what happened, and I share that in a couple of videos, if the inmates say they're not feeling sick, they have stomach problem and they have their chest hurt and they feel like their blood sugar is low, they're just have all these issues. And this is a person that always complain. And because you're so relaxed in that correctional settings, because it's not like a hospital, it's really maintaining medication wise and doctor's order. So it's not as difficult as the other healthcare setting. And you may ignore that inmate. You may say, oh, he's just annoying. He's always, something's always wrong. And just when you think it, just when you overlook it, that's when something happened and you find yourself behind bars, or you find yourself losing your license for just that simple thing, or of taking a blood sugar, taking his vital signs. Keep him quiet. Check out. Bring him up. If you can't go down there, a lot of us don't want to go down there. You tell the officer, bring him up. If the officer can't, just walk. Are you going to be with me? That's what you ask the officer. Will someone there? Will they be in the pod? Can the person, his roommate, come out the pod while I go in and assess the patient? Be confident, because if you're not, they can, sorry, what you doing? What you doing? And that's it. You take that step, because when it comes down, the officers said they call you and you ignore it. Everything is legal in there, documentation wise, and you will be at fault. You will lose your license, or you will get fired, and it will follow you. And you may be behind bars for something simple as overlooking his chest pain, overlooking that he's been having this abdominal situation, and then blood in the stool, and you ignore it. As a matter of fact, he said, I have it to show you, and you say you don't want to see it. So take precaution. My number one for this channel is to keep you safe, to guide you, to be transparent, and I want you to succeed, and you will as a nurse. I know a lot of people say, oh, nurses, and I talk about it too. It's a burn